A man fell from a high place. When Marty stepped forward to check, he realized it was his wife's lover. Earlier that day, during a break at work, a private video suddenly popped into his inbox. He clicked it open. The woman on screen was his wife. Marty didn't lose control. He replayed the video over and over. His hands trembled. His face stayed expressionless. Then he smiled and continued answering clients' questions as if nothing had happened. After work, he went home. He didn't confront her. He didn't ask questions. He calmly watched her lie, turning an affair into a grocery run. Watched her pretend to care while her eyes avoided his. It wasn't that he wasn't angry. He knew one thing. The kids needed a complete family, even if that family was already rotten inside. But the collapse of the marriage was only the opening act. Late at night, a phone call pulled him into the real abyss. Marty's true identity was exposed. On the surface, he was a financial advisor. In reality, he had been laundering money for a Mexican drug cartel. The voice on the phone told him to come immediately. When he arrived, the cartel boss Del was already there. No small talk. Del grabbed him by the throat and asked one question. Where did the missing $5 million go? That's when Marty realized someone had dared to steal from the cartel. And Del always found answers with bodies. Gunshots echoed from the bathroom. Everyone understood instantly. This was a purge. Soon, the partner was identified. The truth was torn open. They exploited a weighing loophole and stole $8 million over 3 years. Explanations ended. The reckoning began.
I would have never done any of this. I thought it would hurt you. And
People were dragged away one by one. Bodies were stuffed into oil drums. Marty stood still, knowing one thing. Even if he was innocent, he wouldn't be spared. When it was his turn, Del didn't even bother interrogating him. He just said he would kill Marty's wife next and, if necessary, the children too. At the moment the gun was raised, Marty suddenly spoke. He proposed something even crazier. He would take his family to a place called the Ozarks. Remote, loosely regulated, cash heavy. He promised to launder money personally and double the returns. Del was tempted, but there was one condition. Within 48 hours, the stolen $8 million had to be repaid in cash back home. Marty laid everything on the table for the first time. Money laundering, the cartel, a death countdown. Wendy wanted to call the police until she heard their partners were already dead. Only then did she understand there was no way out. To survive, they started selling everything. The house, shares, assets. They scraped together the money, but got stuck at the final step, withdrawing cash. The bank refused systems, procedures, risk controls, all roadblocks. Marty even contacted a private investigator, asking if it was possible to disappear with money and family. The answer was simple. Identities can change, money runs out, and children will always expose you to the world. Just when he had nowhere left to turn, a deeper betrayal surfaced. All the money in the account had been transferred out. By Wendy, she didn't want to run. She wanted to take the money and her lover and start a new life. She underestimated the cartel. When Marty arrived at the hotel, a man fell from a height. Blood splattered across the ground. It was the lover. Del called immediately. The money could be returned, but whether Wendy lived was up to Marty. It was a choice without a choice. Marty swallowed his humiliation and chose to preserve the shell of the marriage. Not because of forgiveness, but because the family still had to survive. The money returned to the account. The bank called the police. Facing federal agents, Marty dropped all pretense. He used the rules to force the bank to release the cash. Finally, he got the money. But Del wasn't done with him. The $8 million had to be laundered again. This was a test. Succeed, and it's long-term cooperation. Fail, and everyone dies. So Marty took his wife and 2 kids, loaded $8 million in cash, and headed for the Ozarks. Near their destination, he walked alone into the woods. Leaning against a tree, he finally broke down. Not because he feared death, but because there was no road left behind him. After wiping away his tears, he stood by Lake Ozark, looking at the calm water. He knew this seemingly peaceful place would become his new battlefield for survival.